Rich Strani with TMC here. Thanks for watching. We're at WebRTC Expo Atlanta 2014. James Tagg, the CTO of Truphone, is with us. James, welcome to the show.
Hi, yeah, it's very nice to be here.
Pleasure to have you. Would you mind giving us the elevator pitch of about Truphone?
Oh, okay, it's the elevator pitch Truphone. Right. So imagine that you work in London and you work in New York as well. And you might carry two phones, one for each country, and you'd have two telephone numbers and two voicemails, and you get two bills and so on. And that really irritates you because you get numbers on one phone, calls on one phone and calls on the other. So what we give you is a phone that works in many countries in the world all at the same time. It's local in all those countries. So if you work in London, New York, now you have a number in each country, but you have one phone and one bill and one voicemail.
And how do you do that exactly?
We built a new type of mobile network, really. So we have, if you look at mobile networks today, there's one built for each country. So it's a complete vertical stack for every country. And what we did is we built one network, which is in London and Amsterdam, and that serves the whole world.
So as a user, what kind of phone do I need to be able to take advantage of this service?
It works on any phone. So any of the normal phones that you'd pick up in the stores, that's what you need.
And once I have a normal phone, then I call you, and then what do you send me?
We send you a SIM, and you put that SIM in a phone. Now, obviously, if you're from an American market where maybe you're not used to putting SIMs in phones, we'll send you a phone instead, right? So you can get a phone with a SIM in it, and we do all that for you.
Excellent. And does it work with data as well?
Yeah, voice data, SMS, and so that's the service that we offer.
So I've heard that you have some unique technology that more efficiently transmits packets when people are roaming in other parts of the world. How does that work?
Okay, so if you set out to make a mobile service that works all the way around the world, you'd have two choices, right? You could either make one that is sort of really local in each country, or you could make one that simply is local in one country and roams in everything else. And so if you look at a traditional mobile operator, they would bring all of your data back to their home country. So if you were traveling in America and you came from England, then you wanted to hit a website, all of your data packets would go back to England. In fact, they would go back to England via Amsterdam, which is the worldwide routing center for all these things. And then you go all the way back via Amsterdam out to America. And so you'd have a very, very long path for every data packet. So in building our new network, although we have our control centers in Amsterdam and London, we actually have distributed data and voice all the way around the world. So we keep your data local. So in this case, if you're in America, your data stays in America and hits the local website here. And that makes a big difference.
So tell me about the way telephone numbers work with your service, because generally I would have different country codes and area codes or province codes, things like that. How does it work with Truphone?
Yeah, if you go back to my London, New York example, we can give you a UK number and a New York number. And of course, if you wish to, you can port in your numbers as well. And so we provide numbers in 8 countries now. And all of those we can port in. So you can end up with one phone service that works in 8 countries.
But your service works beyond those 8 countries, correct, for roaming purposes?
Oh, yeah. So you can use it all over the world. So I think we're probably in about 210 countries around the world. And then in 66 of those countries, you're in bundle. So there's no roaming in 66 countries. So that's all of Europe. So the whole continental Europe, not just sort of Europe, the European Union. That includes Russia and all of those countries. And then all of North America and China and Hong Kong and Australia and some sort of South American countries. So basically, most of the places that you travel on business are in bundle.
And there are some tremendous benefits to having local numbers in different parts of the world, correct?
Yeah, I mean, the bigger, you perhaps, some people question, why would I need a number in several different countries? And it's not so much your problem that you need a number, it's other people's problem. So for example, if you want to hire a limo in New York to pick you up after a business meeting, if you give them your UK number, they won't phone you. Right? They'll say, oh, I'm terribly sorry, I don't understand that number, we're not going to phone you. So it's the other person who wants your US number so they can contact you and say, I'm terribly sorry, we're in traffic and we'll be a bit late or whatever.
And to escalate the potential importance of having a local number, you may have kids in a country where there's a babysitting situation and you want a babysitter to call you, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's either the babysitter problem or the ski instructor problem. You handle your kids over to someone in Aspen to go, on a sort of ski instructor, and you say, "Phone me if there's a problem," and they're not going to phone a 44 UK number. They're just not going to, and so you need to give out a local number in each country for the sort of the local people to contact you.
Now, what happens in terms of the minutes using your plan? Let's say I have a group of people that are in my company that travel internationally. Do you have some kind of solution that manages the group?
Yeah, I mean, most of the accounts that we give out are group accounts, and we do bundle minutes across the whole group. So we'll give bundled minutes internationally for your whole company.
Fantastic. I should also mention that I've been sent an iPhone 5S and a MiFi device from your company, which I'll be testing next week, actually. So I'm very excited about that. But getting on, I'd love to talk about a couple things. You're at a WebRTC show, so first let's talk a little bit about WebRTC and what you're seeing in that market.
Yeah, so we've been working on a WebRTC, perhaps you'd sort of call it playing, for a couple of years, just to see what we could do with it. And you may know we have a VoIP product as well. So we've with our GSM network, it's also VoIP interconnected, and we can play some games with that. And so we've really been looking at whether we could make WebRTC an endpoint for our customers, so they could use their browser to phone and receive phone calls and do all sorts of interesting things. And so we're here at the show demoing our first WebRTC sort of mashup, which is a way of finding you using social networks and connecting to you and connecting to your mobile phone.
So if I call a mobile phone, I also could have the browser ring?
Yeah, that's right. So you could have your browser ring at the same time as your mobile phone. And equally well, if you think about the thing that WebRTC causes you to think about is they do all the nuts and bolts. So they move video and they move audio, and you can just assume that the WebRTC folk at Google and whatever have done all that transport there. So now what you need to think about is what's the real business problem or people problem that we have, right? Remembering who you are, remembering your face, losing your business card if when I get home, and trying to remember to contact you. So those are the sorts of things that we humans, because our memories are not brilliant, right, need to do. And so WebRTC allows you to think about how you solve those sort of problems and just assume that the communication bit is going to happen.
So yesterday on stage, I actually mentioned that one of the killer apps for WebRTC, I thought, would be to pair or twin a mobile phone with a WebRTC browser, and it sounds like that's what you've done.
Yeah, that's exactly what we've done. So, so the thing that we're going to show tomorrow is, let's see, you and I know each other on LinkedIn or Twitter or something like that. I can link to you using our social network, our social graph relationship, but then I can get that to phone your mobile phone. So I've got a mashup between the web and mobile. Very exciting. Are there any other new things we should know about? Oh, I'm not sure I can tell you any more new things. I think that's enough for one show, right?
Okay. So I'd like to leave with a forward-looking statement. I always like forward-looking statements. So going into the future, where would you want the company to be? What are some of the challenges that you may be solving going forward? The company will probably end up in a lot more countries. I don't see why we wouldn't end up selling Truphone everywhere in the world. That would be a kind of exciting thing to do. And I'd like to do something really exciting in the WebRTC field, where you sort of link to people socially, through the browser and that sort of thing. Thanks for being on the program.
Yeah, thank you.